On Friday, you took your test over Chapter 9, so we're going to start with Chapter 10 today, and it relates to fractions. We're going to be talking about decimals. We've been talking about place value earlier in the year, and place value we know starts with the ones column. Tens, if I kept moving to the left over here, I'd have hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and so forth. When you get to this decimal point here, this actually separates the ones place with a position called the tenths place. Notice the TH on the end of it. And you can also write tenths as a decimal. So this number right back here means the word 1/10. It can be written decimal 1. The 0 is just a placeholder, or it can be written as a fraction 1/10. Looking at the model here, you can see that you can do the same thing here with it. If we shaded in 3/10, it'd be 1, 2, 3 shaded. We could write it as 3/10, but we could also write it as 0.3, which is what would go right here. 0.3 and 3/10 like a fraction mean the same thing. You pronounce it 3/10. You can do this with mixed numbers as well. If you were to shade 2 and 8/10, you'd need to shade this whole piece in. There's 1. Shade in this whole piece. That's 2. And what do you think you'd shade in on this one? It says 8/10. You need to shade in 8 parts out of 10. So 2 and 8/10 is a mixed number. We've talked a lot about that. The way you would write it is you'd put a 2 for the whole number, and over here you'd write an 8. You don't have to do anything with the fraction in a decimal number. The way you know how to pronounce it is in the tenths position, so it'd be pronounced 2. The decimal means and 8/10. Looking down here at this particular picture, you can see some more examples of fractions, and think about how you'd write that as a decimal number. This right now says 5/10. How do you think you'd write that as a decimal number? Practice writing on a piece of paper. Do the same with this one. It says 1 and 7/10. How do you think that would look as a decimal number? Going down to the next lesson, I'm going to hold it on this page here. I would suggest you hit stop and you get out some scrap paper and you practice writing them down and looking at them. Maybe someone can even look at them for you to see if you're on the right track. Okay? Okay, if you've resumed, you can see that we can also do these with story problems, talking about different kinds of dinosaurs here. And I'm going to scroll this again so you can kind of look at the questions. This would be a great page to hit pause on and try a few of these to see if you can figure them out with decimal numbers. Finally, this is what your homework page will look like. And when you're done viewing this, you're going to go into assignments. You're going to hit those 3 buttons at the top, go to assignment, and you're going to do the problems that I have assigned for you to do that relate to this 10.1 decimal numbers. Have a good day.